Hey everybody, welcome back. You are joining me for coffee and cardio this morning because this is when I have time to actually film today. So, we need to talk about the 50-year mortgages and the 15-year car loans that Trump has been proposing as a fix to make things more affordable for all of us here in America. There's many issues that I have with this. I'm actually probably going to toss in a little bit about my issues with all of the gambling ads that have been going on because, well, I take issue with all of it, and I think it's all in the same sphere. So, welcome back to the Green Eyed Girl podcast. It's officially treadmill season because I'll be able to set the heater up next to me. I don't have it going right now, just hence the hood. But yeah, good morning. So, 50-year mortgages. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm in a 20-year and I see how much interest that I pay, and it's crazy. So, I can't even fathom a 50-year. So let's actually start with this. Housing and why it is so expensive and so limited. So everybody a few years ago, you should, if you're paying any attention, you should know that houses were going up for sale left and right. Everybody was getting great pricing on it and people made a ton of money. A bunch of people got into houses with low interest right after COVID. So what happened was BlackRock and other people like them went through and bought a ton of housing. So they've bought all of these houses and they've turned them into rentals. And I'm talking like huge sections of neighborhoods. And these are not like, your neighbor down the road owns 2 or 3 other houses and they fixed them up and flipped them and doing that. No. I'm talking BlackRock. So you have a giant corporation, giant financial institution that now owns these houses. Plus, of course, we have the illegals here who don't belong here. We've had rampant immigration, even legal. I'm over it. I'm seeing way too many people from way too many foreign countries. And I'm here to tell you, they're not like specialized people either. And I'm over it. We should all be over it. Okay? So you've got BlackRock owning a ton of housing and other people like them. It's not just BlackRock, but they are one of the major owners now, and they're renting them out. It's one thing to have like a big place like that owning an apartment complex and renting it out. It's another to have your like family neighborhoods being owned and rented out. It's like, and I'm talking just massive quantities of houses. So now nobody can buy a house because a ton of them are rentals. A ton of them have illegals in them because they're rentals. And here we are. Your neighborhoods are crap. A, because they've got a bunch of people who don't belong in them because renting a house, okay, just logic. So we have all of our houses are owned by the wrong people. And Trump's plan to make things more affordable, instead of looking at it and telling these giant financial institutions, hey, we're not going to let you do this. You need to get rid of them at fair housing prices. Instead, he's saying 50-year mortgage. That's insane. Don't mind me as I spill coffee. Hopefully not on my microphone, that's my husband's. Anyway. So, 50-year mortgage. A, you'll never own your house. Okay, 30-year mortgage is already bad. Like I said, I'm under 20. It's bad. We want it. If you have a mortgage, look at your mortgage statement. You know how much interest you've paid. The way mortgages work, they front and load the interest. So you pay the interest up front. And on a 50-year, all they do is just extend out the period. It's not any discount to you. It just makes it so that your monthly payment's lower so that you can afford it. But when you spread that kind of interest out over 50 years, you're paying so much more. And I have an aunt who's in banking and loans, and she said the same thing yesterday. She said, it's insane. It's like the worst choice you could possibly make, but people are going to do it because it's more affordable. And she put it in air quotes. So, we need to not do this, guys. Don't get yourself trapped into a 50-year mortgage because you won't get the equity out of your house at all. You are not going to really be able to afford it. You're going to end up paying so much more for your house because of interest than ever. So one of the ways to cut down interest when you're making your home payment is to split payments. So you pay half of your mortgage at the beginning of the month and half at the end. It lowers how much interest you pay over time because taking off whatever the first half of the payment is, say your mortgage is $2,000 a month, paying that $1,000, well then there's $1,000 less in interest accrued at the end of the month. So you end up paying less interest if you split your mortgage. It's not going to save you. It'll cut out a few payments at the end. It doesn't save like a ton, but it saves some. Now, if you spread it out over 50 years, you have 50 years worth of accrued interest that you have to pay on the front. So you're going to sit here and you're going to pay all of this interest on the front side because they're going to get their money first. And then you're actually going to be paying into your home. And that's where you accrue your equity, is by paying off your principal. So you're going to have like 10, 20 years of just mainly interest being paid. You're not going to be accruing equity. And you're not going to get as much equity over a 50-year span as you do over a 30. So don't do that. The other thing Trump is throwing out here is 15-year car loans. Don't fall for this one either, guys, okay? The minute you buy a new car, when you drive it off the lot, it automatically tanks in value. We all know this. Now, I have a new car. It was new when I bought it, okay? I knew I was losing that, but I had put myself in a situation where I had to trade 2 cars in for the one. Long story. It's my fault. 100% my fault. So, I had to trade in the 2 cars for one. I drove a brand new car off the lot. All of that. However, I pay a lot of interest on that car also, and I'm at 7%. But I'm on a 5-year term. It's a reasonable car payment. I'm paying almost double, okay? Car's going to get paid off pretty quick. Now, no car is going to last you 15 years, okay? They don't make cars that last 15 years anymore. So if you go and you spread out a payment term for 15 years, A, you're never going to get out from under it. And your car's not going to make it 15 years, guys. Okay? This is not 1995 anymore. You don't get cars that make it 15 years anymore. I had a 95 Ford Taurus when I started driving back in 2007. 10-year-old car. Now, it didn't last 5 years because of a car wreck, but it ran well enough it would have. I had a 95 Alero. That one did last. Now, here's the thing. Cars these days are not made the way they used to be in the 90s. There's more computers, there's more sensors, there's more crap. And it all goes bad. So, you're going to end up locking yourself into 15 years, and your car isn't even going to last that long. So all you're going to end up doing is rolling from one car to the next, to the next, to the next, and you're going to have to keep doing bigger and bigger payments so you don't end up upside down. Car payments are terrible. Believe me, I have 2. My husband and I both have them. So before we realized, like, the financial situation in the world, We're trying to escape the matrix, okay? But I speak about this from experience. So, 15-year car loan. Your car is not going to last 15 years. If you buy a Honda, you buy a Toyota, it might. But even then, think about all the repairs and things you have to do. Okay, really in like the first 5 years, you can get most of your crap worked out. You can get it paid off while you still have warranties and whatever. You stretch that to 15, think about everything that can go wrong with your car. And I used to be in automotive. And I'm telling you right now, Nissans, Kias, all that crap, those fuckers blow up at like 130,000 miles. They don't last beyond that. If you're like me and you drive a lot, you're gonna hit that really quick. Sorry, I had to let the cat out. So if you drive a lot, you're hitting these milestones way too quickly, and your vehicle's gonna tank. Do not fall for this, okay? This is a massive money grab from the people to these big financial institutions. Again, this is not the first time, okay? Because when you're buying houses at a 50-year rate, the financial institution that is in cahoots with the banks is who owns the freaking house that you're going to be paying on. So not only are they going to be getting the money, but they're going to get part of that interest, because that's how all of this works. It's all the banking systems trying to screw you, and Donald Trump knows this. Okay? Do we forget where Donald Trump comes from? Donald Trump comes from real estate. Donald Trump knows exactly how mortgages work, and he's doing this anyway. Think about how wrong that is. He knows how mortgages work. He knows there's not a 40-year mortgage. He's jumping it straight to a 50. And everyone knows your car's not going to last 15 years. There's not cars on the road that last 15 years anymore, unless you're like a boomer who's had the same car that gets parked in your garage, that you baby. And even then, you can't tell me things don't break on it, guys. Okay? And they just don't make shit the way they used to, because all the components are made in a foreign freaking country that doesn't care. Your computers are going to go bad. Your sensors are going to go bad. You're going to have to pay. And 15 years is a long-ass time, guys. Do not fall into this trap. Do not go and spend all of this money and lock yourself into a 15-year car loan and a 50-year mortgage. It will destroy your entire life. You will never own anything. You will perpetually be in debt. You will never be in a position where if something happens and you're being treated like crap, that you can get out. Boycott it. Just boycott it. Do not trap yourself into the matrix for the rest of your life. And I mean the rest of your life. You will die not having paid your house off, and then it's going to be your kid's problem. 50 years is a long time. And right now, we're not buying until like our 30s. I didn't get my place until I was 30. Thank heavens I'm only in a 20-year, and we're trying to just kill our debt down, right? We're like not full Dave Ramsey because, we like to live life a little bit. But my husband's got a business, and that's making it so that we can really pay debt down. So get out of debt. Don't get into debt at high interest rates for long terms. Believe me when I say 7% interest on a vehicle is a lot. And we're at 7% interest on housing now. I don't even know where vehicles are at. But I'm paying 7% interest on 2 vehicles, and I'm telling you, it's crushing. Do not lock yourself in to that forever. I was going to talk about gambling. I think I'm going to do that in a different episode because this is already a lot. But as somebody who bought into this, and we were already out here when we started learning about everything. I mean, it's all corrupt. And let's be real, so long as you're paying property tax, you don't ever actually own your house. The government does, and you're renting it from them, because if you don't pay your property tax, they're going to come take it off of you. And in the great state of Kentucky, I pay property tax on my vehicles every year too. It doesn't make any sense when you start realizing that you paid sales tax on the front end. Okay? Don't lock yourself in with banks forever. Like I said, my aunt is in banking. Draw the logical conclusions. If she says this is like the worst thing ever, and it's the worst decision you can ever make, but she knows that people are going to make it because it's the only way for them to own, take that for what it's worth. You don't want to be in debt forever. It is not a good place to be. You can never retire. If something happens, you're perpetually worried, and the interest is crushing. Don't fall for the BS. Fight back. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'm going to finish my cardio and my coffee, and I'm going to go carry on, go to the Matrix job. This will be up later today.